Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.
Such a good intro, man.
The entire time.
Yeah.
Well,
Tutor on horns over here.
orchestrating.
Just pretty good.
I was gyrating. I was twerking. You missed it.
Every time.
Oh my God.
Got to get into it.
Got to get in there. It's all about the soul, brother. That's what I am.
That's right. I've heard you rap.
oh,
I heard
yeah,
you
it's
rap.
amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's in our new video, Rings of Power, Season 2, Episode 1, 2, and 3. Go watch it
I wanted
later.
Yeah. I wanted to put the actual song in there. I'm like, that's probably going to get us hit. So I'll just do it as worse.
I'm not as good
bad
as
as,
Perry. I need to get
Oh.
taught by Perry to do how he takes words and makes them into the beat. We gotta do a lesson right there.
We'll
Hey,
do a lesson.
off the
Isn't
top,
that,
off
hang
the
on.
top of the head here. We got to talk about something.
we
Big
do?
announcement. Adam Crigler had his baby.
Yay!
He's a papa now. It's official.
Is my volume low?
Sound good to me.
Okay.
Uh,
I have options here. Okay. Congratulations to Adam. Papa Adam. He's going to be a great dad. He's so... man, it's just infectious how excited he was about being a dad. It's like there's so
Awesome.
much good. There's still so much good in the world. So I think he's going to be a fantastic dad, and it's going to just add to his life where he never thought it was possible. So we wish him and Mama Crigler all the best, and they'll be back when they're ready. It's all good. Lots of babies being made right now.
Tis the
That's good.
season.
Tis the season. Tis the season.
Is this 9 months away from Valentine's Day? Hold up.
no, Christmas.
No. Ooh,
Christmas.
Christmas vacation. That's what it is.
Yeah, I was Christmas around the
Christmas
Christmas baby. Yeah, that's what I was. Remember, the baby was due on my birthday and came
That's
super
true.
late. Came super late. So I think Chris Gore's birthday is coming up too. And I want everybody to celebrate Chris Gore's birthday for a month. Okay. Everybody
He's a woman.
like he's a woman, like pretend he's drunk 3PO. And and then you celebrate his birthday for a month. He'll really love it.
And
We'll
every stream, you have to
absolutely
say
love
it's his birthday stream.
Yes, every stream is his birthday stream.
Even streams he's not on.
Even streams, just
Yeah.
say
Happy birthday, Chris.
Gore. Or Frank Gore, whatever you prefer.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier. We're going to talk about ancient aliens, Anunnaki,
Oh, you know what?
Zachariah Sitchin a little bit, what I can remember because I read the book 15 years ago, but I'll do my best. The Y-File, I just watched the Y-Files video.
I've watched it 3 times.
Dude, it's their funniest one.
It's really
That's
good.
It's just fucking funny in that one.
Anunnaki.
Anunnaki. And he's all go on with it. No, my favorite line was go on with your science fiction story, Philip K. Dick.
Dick.
It's very sassy.
Oh, that was good. Melissa comes up and goes, these guys are good. I know.
Yeah.
I fucking know.
Yeah. I refuse to believe it's a team of 4 people. There's no way. It's got to be
That's
an
insane.
entire studio full of freaking animators and actors and all kinds of stuff. They do
Nope.
way too good. Way too good.
Which parts are the animated and which one the acting? Sometimes I think it's stock footage. You never know with them.
I love how they do that. They do stock footage. They do a little AI art, and it's
Dude,
motion
the one thing-
AI, and then the
one thing
AI
that
voices.
The one thing that people hate about AI that I kind of like because it's really creepy and surreal is
Like a
when
nightmare.
it's like a nightmare and it's like nightmare fuel, but I think it's really cool. Especially in panning scenes or there's any motions, you see people
like
flickering. Yeah, and it just
Oh.
it
and
works for suspenseful like storytelling.
It does.
Like
It
really
totally
does.
works for creepy, surreal storytelling. So yeah, what? Remember the first? I watched the first X. We're watching the X Files again. So the first X Files was a kid who got abducted, and he's it's part of a high school graduation group, and then they're abducting girls. But when he's abducting women in the first part anyway, his face is all fuzzy and you can't see it, and it kind of looks like AI art. And I was like, oh, that's cool. God damn it.
I always explain AI art is like how dreams feel, where you can't quite, nothing's solidified. It's all kind of wobbly. Yeah, and creepy.
Totally.
I gotta rewatch X Files. I only watched it as it came out, like in the '90s when I was a little baby.
I haven't watched it since it was on like DVD, so it's been 15 years, maybe more.
I need to do that. Do a full watch through.
Yeah. Do you have physical or?
I have the Blu-ray set. Yeah, physical
4K?
media.
It's not 4K though.
No, it's Blu-ray, but it's pretty good. It's pretty decent transfer for Blu-ray. Like they do a good job. But what a fucking banger! Like that show is not like, oh, it takes a while for it to get going. No.
Really
So
flex right off the gate. Like,
absolutely gets going on the first fucking episode. I remember when it came out, I was in prison and it took over for Sightings. Those in the chat remember Sightings, which was a show of UFO videos every Friday night, and X-Files took its place. And I was mad at it, but I'm like, oh, I fucking love this show. It's
somebody was cooking when they were booking those shows on Fox back in the day. They canceled them, But.
Well, they almost every episode in the entire lore is based on reported events,
like so based off of
ufology, based off of
that's cool.
And it came right around the time when Art Bell was like getting really fucking big too. So like, yeah, it was great. X-Files is the shit. One of the greatest shows ever made. You got to watch it tonight.
Gotta watch it. Gotta do
it.
Yeah,
we're watching episodes right after the show. We're gonna go through the whole damn
like
thing.
ordering
Is
it right
streaming
now.
on anything?
It's on Hulu.
Oh, I don't got Hulu.
Yeah, it's
here.
fucking Disney. Yeah.
Oh, well.
11 seasons.
You can get it. You can rent it on. Yes, there's 11 seasons, and seasons 10 and 11 came out recently.
Plus the movies, because there's like
plus
two
the movie.
movies,
The
right?
first movie I like a lot. I like the first movie quite a bit.
Oh, dang it, that price though. Oh my god.
It's
full
worth
set?
it. Get
The
it.
whole thing.
$350 for the whole Blu-ray set.
What? 350 Canadian dollars?
Oh yeah, that's true. Canadian. So that's like what? 270,
It
280.
should be like 150.
The
Let me see.
DVDs are 166.
No, you want the Blu-ray.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll find them.
Yeah,
I'll find
you could probably find that on sale somewhere.
Oh, Prime Video has.
You have like a video store or like a half price books? Do you have that?
Yeah,
in
do you have
Canada?
half price books? Oh, fucking half price.
100%
No.
half price books. Has
But
it.
I should just go shopping when I'm down in the States.
There you go.
Maybe.
There you go. Go to a half price books. It'll change your life.
Yeah.
Congrats to Brazil, by the way, for your Supreme Court. Like,
Did they overturn it?
You could use a VPN, but they didn't overturn.
Yeah, you saw Dan was tweeting.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he was just taking the hit.
Well, he can afford it, but he could sell his like whale penis bone. No, that's Jeremy who has
He
that.
trims off a little bit of the bun and sells that.
Oh no,
Oh, I'm
He
sure
makes a
women
little
would
bit of
just
money.
Dan
claw.
could just go OnlyFans and
Just only
It'll
Dan's.
probably just be
Only
like
Dan.
Feet pics, and women will still want it.
men.
And men.
Dan Vasquez is a gay icon.
He transcends sexuality. He appeals to all.
Holy shit! So sorry we had to delay the show, but we were working our ass off on this.
Yeah, we were hard in the minds.
Only Dan's. Oh, I just thought. Did you say it?
I said it.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I just caught
Hey, you
it.
see this?
I just caught it. Give credit.
It's okay.
To Garrett.
I'll give it to the
No,
chat.
no.
Chat had it.
No,
Chat had it.
Garrett.
Okay, I'll take it. But I'll share it. It'll be like when they copyright strike you and they share the revenue on YouTube.
Damn you. It belongs to everybody.
yeah.
It belongs to
The
everybody.
community.
The fellowship. Fuck that word community. It's a commie word.
It's a commune of
It's a fucking commie word. Okay.
of people. Anunnaki. Anunnaki.
Yeah, we had to
Anunnaki.
delay. We had to delay the episode because we were working on the video. So thanks for watching it, by the way. Currently 1 out of 10. So hope you liked it. Hope you liked it. I was especially proud of the O-Face clip.
Oh,
That's personally some of my best work.
it was pretty good. It was very good. The zoom is. Oh. Editing is just laughing to yourself alone
Yes.
in a room. That's
If you
all
can
it
make
is.
yourself, I think it's a good, if you can make yourself laugh on something, you're like, you should probably roll with it.
Yeah.
Now there were some thumbnails that were cracking us up that we couldn't run with.
There were several.
Harry was
think of-
having too much fun with the sign on the
Yes.
side. Free
Whew.
Mordor, Orcs Lives Matter,
Mhm.
from the Anduin to the sea.
Yep. You guys should take the thumbnail and put in whatever you want in there, and then
Yeah, your own versions. We'd
just
love to
take
see
it and
that.
run with it.
Please post it on Twitter and tag
Yes.
us.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So Anunnaki, one of my favorite subjects. It's pure science fiction. Zachariah Sitchin wrote the 12th planet. Okay, hang on.
It's not pure science fiction.
No, I think there's something to it. I think Zachariah Sitchin added a lot that was just inaccurate, like rockets and shit. But the thing is, you can't throw the baby out with the bath water, as we say. There's certain things. There's a lot of guys out there. I think their conclusions are fucking crazy, but I think leading up to that, I think they're on to something. I think Zachariah is one of them. So he was, and Graham Hancock's talked about this. He was able to translate some of the cuneiform tablets, but he wasn't very good at it.
He
just wasn't
got
very
some
good at it.
like grammar incorrect, and
Yeah.
they have a great example of why. Is like back then when he was doing that. When was that? That was the 70s when he wrote the first one.
Late 60s, early 70s.
60s, 70s.
Yeah.
They didn't have easily accessible cuneiform like archives and all.
No,
this
there
stuff.
wasn't
So
a
he's
lot
like
of
just
who could
teaching himself.
translate it. Yeah, the fact that they were able to translate it at all is fucking insane.
Yeah,
It's
like
absolutely insane. And we cannot deny that this civilization like popped up out of nowhere, and it wasn't just like it wasn't mud brick schlocky looking homes that like ziggurats, which like look modern.
Yeah.
In their design, look very, very modern in their design. Like when we see certain science fiction stuff, we always see pyramids or like cigarette like structures, and it's because they're mathematically precise, and it's really crazy for the first try we get this. So it's obviously not the first try. It's just not.
The Sumerian culture is what we're talking about, and it popped up, and it had agriculture, it had society structure, it had city states. It was like it just popped up out of nowhere, went from individual tribes, individual gathering locations with maybe some architecture to full-on cities. With aqueducts and irrigation and all kinds of stuff.
And math and a lot of stuff that was attributed to the Greeks, that the Greeks just rediscovered stuff.
Right.
That's and their own civilization very well could be older than we think. But it was,
so the Anunnaki are their deities, the
deities.
Sumerian deities, the gods that they believed in, that they gave them this knowledge, right?
They did. Sorry, you're reading in.
aliens.
I was reading some. I can't.
No,
Sorry,
no,
I was reading something in the chat. My bad.
Distracted by the chat again.
I know.
They're just so good looking. That's why.
They're pretty hot. They're pretty hot. So they are their deities, but they are also, if you read Magicians of the Gods, if you haven't, I highly recommend it. Available on Audible, read by Graham Hancock. It's his sequel to, I'm blanking on the name now.
It's in my pile of books.
Magicians of the Gods. Fingerprints of the Gods.
Fingerprints of the Gods, Magicians
Yeah.
of the Gods, and then what was the other one?
Well, there's Underworld. You gotta
America before.
America
was the other
before,
one.
but Underworld's in there too. It's a lesser known one, but it's the one where he scuba dives everywhere. And yeah,
Ooh.
I don't have that one. I don't have that one.
Read
I
Underworld.
don't think I have that one either.
But he gets into the Seven Sages, which is like so there's a lot of similarities. These are even the Watchers.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of cultures who have these civilization builders too in a myth, right? And when you start having similar myths that branch off and have their own flair, right? But some are word for word, there's got to be a source for that. And it wasn't just some bored guy in a loincloth next to a campfire who's like, oh, I just thought of this thing called stories and mythology. I'm just going to make one up as we go. No, we don't have a written language right now, but I'll just say it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like that.
And like the flood myth, that's an example of completely disparate cultures, not mingling, not connected, that we know
Very far away.
of. Very far away, that come up with almost the exact same archetype or format for a story. This flood that wipes everyone out, restarts civilization, you raise back from nothing, basically. It's very... How many examples? It was like over 130 or something.
Yeah.
Different
And it might
cultures.
Cultures.
And it may be
likely
more.
will be more. I think it's more.
Yeah.
But at least that, and that's insane.
It's
Now,
very interesting to think that all these cultures got it, just went, oh, you know.
Coincidence? Not really.
Yeah.
I like the explanation that it's not necessarily that they were connected in some way, but they were connected through the actual events of some cataclysm.
Yes.
Something happened
Like
that gave
all
everyone this
experienced
idea.
it.
Yeah, and they were like, we need to tell our ancestors, tell our families around us, like, what happened, because that was a serious event, and it was so serious that so many different cultures came up with this same story. And that story is it's in the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is connected to the Anunnaki.
Exactly. And with their connection, there is the 12th planet version.
Nigeria.
And it's
Nigeria, you said?
Iberia. I believe that's what it's called.
Like Planet X?
Planet X.
Planet X.
Nibiru.
Nibiru,
that's
sorry.
the name.
Or Nigeria, whatever.
You know,
This unknown planet, Nigeria.
Nibiru that comes around every 36,000 years. And Zechariah said basically this was an alien culture that had destroyed their planet and they needed gold dust to put in their atmosphere to reflect the sun. And they came here to mine gold and they turned us into a slave race through genetic engineering. Now, that's what he supposedly translated from the cuneiform text. Now there is talk of like the creation of man. There's a creation theory in there, and I forgot the number.
Out of clay, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
the
it had that
clay and then
specific-
the injection of some sort of DNA.
Yeah, and the number of cuneiform tablets that and when I say we, I mean mankind. Probably the British Museum. I forgot where I read it. It's insane how much we have and how little of it has been translated. Like they're going to be translating this for the hundreds of years,
Which is exciting to me to say, like, there's all this undiscovered knowledge that, and not necessarily, who knows, it could be stories, it could be whatever, but like it's very cool to think that there is so much stuff that we don't know about the Sumerian text and what more could come in the next 100 years. Very exciting.
Right. Okay. So I was watching at night, I was listening to some documentary about this lovely woman who volunteers at the British Museum. And she is, you know which one I'm talking about. Yeah. And she puts together all these little pieces because they picked up all the little shards and they're slowly putting them together. And they had the wherewithal back then. They're like, we can't do this right now, but we need to pick them up, preserve them, and someday we'll be able to. Well, this was back in the freaking late 90s when she was doing this and started it. It's much easier now. You can just scan it and probably have a computer do it. But she had a great mind and she was able to find these little pieces and she put together the rest of a clay tablet that basically talked about the bones of the ark and its location.
So cool. Yeah.
That you could still go at the time. Like here's where you can go. You got to go across a river and go up a mountain, and you can see
It's a treasure map.
Yeah,
Like basically,
you could see what they call the bones of the ark, which was the whole structure that was destroyed, and you could still go see it, and it gave directions.
I love that story because they had a lot of the tablet connected and like all set up, and she was going. I think at the time she was an intern, like early.
Yeah, like a volunteer,
volunteer in there.
Oh no,
and
she was a student to that one guy with the big fucking beard who was talking. Yeah, so she was.
She was like, oh, I know that shape. And then she went and found the thing that they were looking at earlier, earlier in her visits, and they cluck, and it perfectly locked in. So much so that they had to like really try and pry it out because it like connected so well.
Yeah.
Is this the one
it was
you're
a fun
talking about?
story.
That's the guy. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That guy's like really fun. He's brilliant
really
to listen
good.
to. He's funny.
He's really good.
And he's very scientific and very orthodox when it comes to archaeology, but he's really good. And he is high up at the British Museum.
Mm-hmm.
He's very British and very academic, but in an old school cool way.
Yeah.
They got this treasure. It's fucking crazy. So there's so much we don't know still that we're going to find out. That's pretty exciting. So again, now he presents that this was just a mythic tale. The guy with the beard, he's like, this is just a mythic tale. Hey, you can go look at the wreckage of the ark. Here's the directions. Mythic tale. Okay.
That's
all right. Maybe not.
Possible. Could be real.
Could be real.
Could be a real location.
You never know. It could be.
We're discovering old cities from the Bible and old texts like that, like left, right, and center. It seems like in the last decade.
The Epic of Gilgamesh predates the Hebrew Bible with 3,000 years.
Yeah.
So, and it has basically the story of Noah in it. It's just a thread that goes back so far, and it's so fucking old. Like, it's believable. It's amazing that there are the fact that the pyramids lasted this long, like, is insane. But other stuff we're finding that's even older. Göbekli Tepe, we only found that because it was buried, and that was in the vicinity of Mesopotamia, right between the river, between the rivers Euphrates and
Euphrates and
I can't, like, I'm brain farting in that. I know, right? But so
chat's gonna get it.
The theory is that was like the precursor to Mesopotamia, and that's what Graham Hancock's talking about, is that like it was a passing on of a legacy, and Göbekli Tepe and
Tigris.
Thank you.
The Tigris.
Tigris. Yeah. Tigra.
Le Tigre.
Le Tigre. Isn't that a clothing line?
I thought it was from.
I thought it was a Thundercat.
No, I think it was a clothing line, right? Back in the 80s when everybody was wearing Izods. God, those things were gay. Like golf shirts.
Oh,
like in early 80s, it was perfectly okay to wear pink. For dudes to wear pink. Yeah.
80s were kind of gay, I gotta say. It's just, I like the 80s. Don't get me wrong. But...
Well, there's 80s gay. That's why we say there's 80s gay. That was like the good brand of gay.
Right. So many different types,
But
Tigris, Euphrates.
And that's where that cradle of civilization is supposedly is. And I think it was just passed over. Now, the Anunnaki, could they be aliens? Could they be gods? Could there be proto and possibly superior humans? What was the name of the fuck?
That's where I'm going with it.
I wanted to say Erebor, but it's
the
first
city
beings. The first city that they built was called Eridu, right? That's
yeah.
basically Gondor. So it's basically Gondor.
Yes, it is. It's like the Gondorian story.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's post cataclysm, another kingdom set up, and it was built by that slave race that they talked about.
Ajiji.
The Ajiji, the prior slave race.
That's the race I was thinking.
That rebelled.
I
that
just think
rebelled.
it's funny. It's like we don't want to work anymore, so
Well, hey.
enslave someone else.
They're like, I have an idea.
Let's
Why don't you make somebody
humans.
else? You see these monkeys over here? Like, they look pretty strong. You can get them to make gold.
No,
Find it.
yeah, it wasn't Numenor because Numenor had already fallen. Numenor is Atlantis. So after Atlantis sunk, they established Gondor, one of two places they established. And yeah, that was just Eridu. So
Which sounds like a band from the 80s.
And gay. No, I'm kidding.
Maybe.
well, probably. There's a race.
Iridu? They definitely, yeah, for sure.
Oh God.
They play like new age music. It's like
One of the things that really kind of stood out to me to make me even like think this is possibly true is they say humans are genetically engineered, and the one thing, like our backs, for example, can't handle the gravity here, so we might be from a different planet that has less gravity pulling on us. We're disease ridden in comparison to other animals, and we don't have good mechanisms to protect our skin from the sun, whereas most, if not all, animals, including our apparent predecessors, don't need sunscreen. We're the only mammals that need it.
we're definitely set apart for sure.
Unless we were supposed to roll around and mug like pigs, but
Oh,
I mean, it
but
also
no,
makes
you're right.
sense.
That goes way back. And I absolutely, that's where I believe that we might have been either not from here, or genetically engineered in some way, unless and that had kind of a hyper evolution. Because if you look at some species, haven't changed at all, which means, well, they're at their final form. They're
alligators, crocodiles,
yeah,
a lot
some
of
haven't.
lizards.
But why wouldn't they? And why did we evolve so fucking fast?
Genetic engineering.
What turned on our
We're
consciousness
made that way.
or fired it up a little bit? It's kind of weird. And that it is like that we have a lot of problems and we just don't look like we fit well with our environment. And this is even when we were hunter gatherers, we're wearing furs and stuff. And where did our fur go? Why do we have backaches?
Our brains were as developed now as they were then. Same brain.
Yep.
Which is very fascinating. It's like
really fascinating.
What is it? They were talking about. I saw an article where they're observing orangutans doing human-like using more tools, teaching other orangutans how to fish, using lines, using sticks, spear fishing, and it's like what takes us from that to what we can do, where we could do all those same things, but we slowly developed faster than they did because they were like around same time.
Yeah,
that's what was very strange
what
about
made us special.
Yeah, why are we special if they are on the same planet as us and it's basically the same environments but didn't change? But
why did our peers at the time disappear? Okay,
yeah, good point.
Like where are the Denisovans? Where are the Neanderthals? Well,
yeah, and the Homo naledi. That one,
Naledi?
That's a very interesting one as well.
Yeah, what happened to all the homos?
Where'd
all
they
the
go?
homos are gone now.
They died off in the 80s. Guess. It's too bad.
It's too bad. But I love that they got into that. But like the cuneiform tablets are fucking amazing in themselves. That's such a complicated language too. I mean, it's character structure and stuff, but it's I had my oldest son, we sent him to a bilingual school early on, so he could learn Japanese. And just the fact,
one of the hardest ones.
Yeah. So the theory behind that is if you can teach a kid character recognition, and another language early, makes their brain work a little bit harder, and it certainly did work with ours anyway. And he's really really smart. But way smarter than me. But yeah, like I think everything just looks so old, and this is the first civilization, and it predates Egypt supposedly. And I think we're on the cusp, and I really do. I think we're on the cusp, possibly in our lifetime, of pushing back history a significant amount of time when academia like officially accepts it. Hopefully, we find a way to age stone, like properly age stone. Don't know if we'll be able to do it, but because there's so many things that just look so insanely effing old comparatively. Ben showed that in his Egypt video. I think it was a couple videos ago that we discussed. Showed the natural erosion of stuff that was younger than the pyramids. Yeah. And it's crazy, and you can't explain it. Now, Mesopotamia was sold. All that, like the ziggurat that you see, completely rebuilt. If you see the original pictures of it, practically a pile of dust. But man, it would have had to take a long fucking time to do that. A long time. A lot of even academics are, like regular academics come out and say, like, there is so much shit we haven't, we think Egypt has been combed over. No, so much stuff is under the sand, and we just don't have the ability to get to it right now.
They're doing ground penetrating radar on some of the areas and finding there's still structures under there that just been covered by hundreds of years of sand. And it covers over structures very quickly. The Sphinx has been uncovered like 3 times in the last couple hundred years. So it's a very quick moving thing, the sands over there. So yeah, I absolutely believe there is something under the Sahara. There's way more under there than we know. Then they will even like. That's why I don't understand. Why are they so like anti-discovery? I feel like like there used to be a time where it was like, let's go discover, but now it's like, well, that's kind of it. We kind of got our seed. This is it. We're discovering stuff, but it's at a super slow pace.
Gradualism,
like way faster.
Well, Jimmy, our boy Jimmy, love Jimmy. So I've been on a tear lately. He's hot. Saying archaeology is dead, and I think
dropped a video on that.
Yes, he did, and I think he's right with the all the attention that these alternative theories are getting. That the system really wants to shut that down. You're like, well, why would they want to shut down the past? Well, because there's a carefully constructed narrative that's been going on for a long time, and this would shatter it. It would shatter it. It would shatter a lot of beliefs, especially of the system, right? It would change your perspective. I mean, I wouldn't freak out, and I don't. Anybody in the chat would freak out. But if we found out, okay, Atlantis has existed. There was a time where there was a pretty advanced civilization, and it was completely wiped out. That would change your perspective on life a little bit, because right now, science believes that while there's certainly been cataclysms, like mini ones, like giant volcanoes and earthquakes, there hasn't been like any real worldwide ones, and it's not anything we need to worry about. And quite frankly, it is. I think you worry about, and maybe it takes away from the worry of carbon tax, which is total bullshit, in my opinion. Total bullshit. And denying that carbon tax by saying that, well, there was this time about 12,000 years ago where the temperature fluctuations were going insane. It was much colder, actually warmer at times. And when it was warmer, the earth did better. Better. So you could farm in Greenland. There were wineries, like you could make real fucking wine in the UK, in the northern regions. So, yeah, I think that would bust their narrative a little bit, and keeping that quiet for whatever reason, who fucking knows? It could be something far worse.
I am very kind of optimistic though, because I do hear more and more from our chat, even, or comments to the videos of archaeologists, of other sciences that are in that field right now, and they're trying to push that direction. They're trying to say, no, we're still looking for stuff. They're just in the minority at the moment, but I think it'll grow. Like we were talking about before, like the Joe Rogan interviews that he puts out there, all this stuff is kind of growing in popularity, which is gonna push, even if they try to push against it, I think it's gonna push all of the sciences further because people are interested in those and they'll get into those sciences because of those interviews, because of those questions where they go, well, why is it that these are all connected? Let me actually look into it. And then they go to college and they get a degree in that and they join a museum and they really start actually doing all this stuff. I think it's just going to take a little time. And I think we're seeing that.
I think so. From the movie Twisters of all things, follow me on this one. Okay.
I'm following you.
Okay.
I'm
Follow
right
me
there,
from
bro.
the movie Twisters. It's about a scientist and a YouTuber. That's what the movie's about. And it's about the YouTuber gets more attention and the scientist who has something groundbreaking. She wants to stop tornadoes. She's got this little device that can shut down a tornado. But it took them teaming up for that to happen. Right. At first, the scientists are all like these fucking amateurs. They don't fucking belong here. And then they realize like, no, these amateurs are crazy enough to go in there and have this ridiculous truck that has stuff that drills into the ground so it can like get right next to a tornado and sometimes have a tornado blow over the truck. No, I wouldn't try that at home, but the whole point of it was amateurs with the academics, and they see they're losing their power because, like, let's face it, scientists was started by amateurs. It was all started. Geology was started by priests and amateurs who just fucking had the time and wherewithal to do this stuff. And quite frankly, I think that's where it should be. If you want to have, I'm not saying get rid of academics, although, I mean, you don't want to hear my opinion.
The mentality.
You don't want to hear my opinion on the academic structure, but or maybe you do. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Fuck it.
It builds a lot of that. Here's my little pet project, my hypothesis that is now going to be the answer to everything, and you can't ever question that, or else you're questioning me as a person, and that's what it seems like.
And then they get offended.
Well,
and then they get really offended.
Yeah.
It really should just be more free. Like, oh, here's an idea. This is what I think it is, based on my.
They're gone.
And then
exactly, they're gone. Not everyone. I think there's some old school guys. I think there's some people with common sense, but for the most part, the institution and structure is just too far gone. I'll give you an anecdotal example. My young niece, my beautiful young niece, was going to go to San Diego State. Remember, I went out to Comic-Con and we hung out with them, and she went to orientation. Well, you know what happened when she went to orientation?
What?
She found out that her dorms were co-ed. The bathrooms were co-ed. You know what she did?
Oh,
she left. She was accepted into San Diego State and said, fuck this, we're out.
What kind of co-ed?
So, bathrooms co-ed.
Kind of ding-dongs in the girl bathroom. Kind of
ding-dongs in the girl bathroom.
Where the showers are. No.
Yeah, no thank you.
So went through all that process, saw that, and said, I'm fucking out of here. So
see, I have faith,
by the way. Well, and also
I have faith in the younger generations. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
To be honest,
TikTok don't make it look good, but you know,
my sister was like, "Oh, that's a shame," but she was really happy about it because she was having the separation anxiety with her.
Oh,
yeah. So she's like, "Oh, it's terrible that you have to go to school in New Mexico now."
Come on, baby, come on.
Yeah. But yeah, like I couldn't believe when I heard that. So yeah, these supposed structures that are supposed to be the authoritative source, they're supposed to be the science. Eric Weinstein was who's the Chris Williams? He's got such a normal name. But
the guy that he was talking to,
the buff dude, the buff British dude. Yeah.
I like Weinstein. I like him.
Weinstein's fucking awesome.
I didn't watch any of the stuff. I knew of him kind of from the political spheres and all that stuff, kind of vaguely. But I watched that interview where he brought on it wasn't Graham. Who was it? On Joe Rogan. It was him and one other person that he brought on to like really dig deep. It was the actor. What's his name? We were talking about him. Rhodey.
Terrence Williams?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
He brought on Terrence Howard in the way that he
was a football player.
The way that he thought about getting to the truth of these answers, like how he presented himself, was like, I want that from every single scientist.
Yep.
I want that from all of them. And I mean, to credit, like some of them do, but it just seems like the majority of it is like, you don't know anything. You're not from this very prestigious college that I was from, so you must not know it. But he was very like, no, let's go through these. Like, this is a good example, but I think you might be off on this. You might be off on this. Like what you said, the Twisters analogy, getting somebody like that, and then getting somebody like Graham or Randall to team up and then
talk
go
and
out and
figure it
talk
out
and like do this stuff
and
like that.
debate it.
Oh,
But like, yeah, that's what we need.
that would be
That's
awesome.
exactly what humanity needs.
We need the wild thinkers and the even thinkers. I've always thought about this
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like you
Somehow
need those
meet in
ones
the
that go
middle.
way out and the ones that bring you back down, and you kind of meet in the middle. You find out what the truth is.
Because
Love it.
sometimes when you look at one subject for so long, you get such tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And you don't see all this new stuff that's coming out, or you refuse to, as we've seen other people. And we just need to be
Can't
more
do that.
open.
It's the Sumerian tablet where the intern came in, she saw it from a different angle and said, "Hey,
Yeah,
I
all
think I've
these
seen
fucking
that."
experts have looked at it, and you're right.
Exactly.
Garrett, and she saw it, and it was just fresh eyes, you know.
Yeah,
and
that's all you need.
it's brilliant. It's brilliant. But no, Weinstein, actually, go watch that if you guys get the chance, because he
Really
goes
good.
off on the string theory, because apparently the string theory is about to fall apart.
Yeah,
Like, it
yeah,
just-
he was really
It
cool.
just
Oh.
it mathematically is going to fall apart.
It's
and
unraveling.
It's the string theory is unraveling.
Hey.
Oh man.
Ah! Got the dad jokes. He's a dad. He's allowed to tell him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and Weinstein was fucking pissed because apparently a lot of people were using and weaponizing the string theory to like does it sound familiar? Shut down and ruin careers of anybody who brought up anything against it, right? And I like the idea of a string theory. It's cool, but I'm like not stuck on it. Doesn't mean there's not alternate realities.
Yeah.
But the string theory is, I mean, in layman's terms, and I am the layman of laymen. Okay. I'm the layman of laymans, is basically once basically something changes, it turns into a different reality, right? So there's multiple realities stringing out from each other instead of like all of them existing all at once, or and
Like the
time not
TVA.
being linear,
Like in
the
Loki.
TVA. Yes. Yeah, apparently it's falling apart, and Chris Williams, I think his name's, asked him like, hey, you know, it sounds like there was an olive branch from the guy who like was the foremost person in string theory, and Weinstein's like, oh fuck no, oh fuck
Really?
no, we're going to war. These guys ruined careers,
like,
ruined
oh.
lives, and now all of a sudden they want to go, oh, we weren't saying it was dead. It's like he's all fuck that. So I respected that. I was like,
I'd be like, you bring him here, sit down, and then I'll bring up all the examples of, oh, well, you destroyed
That's
this
what he
guy,
said.
you destroyed this guy, you destroyed this guy.
He said, we
Why
can
do
work
you-
it out if we get everybody in a room of the careers they destroyed and those guys
Mhm.
together so they can hash it out.
Yeah.
You know, I think
You
they
need to
should brawl.
come to Jesus.
I think they should
Everybody talk.
brawl. Like personally, I think a bunch of scientists like throwing would be fucking great.
Like a ooey bowl kind of way. Just put
Yeah.
on some
think that
boxing
would be
gloves. Let's
funny to
go.
watch.
Yeah,
Like, what's his name? Fink.
Oh, God.
I agree with the string cheese theory, Itchy Mitch. I agree. The string cheese theory is personally my favorite. I like
I
string
love
cheese.
string cheese.
String cheese is good. String cheese is good.
But
Like-
to bring it back to the topic, right?
Yes.
We have this
Yes.
story, the Anunnaki, which is it's an actual mythology from a real civilization that have real locations that we know, and this kind of mythologized version of they're like the ancient astronauts that seeded our planet, and there's a lot of questions in there that sound crazy, but are they that crazy? Is it that crazy to think maybe we did come from somewhere else? Maybe there are other beings that are in the solar system or outside of the solar system or whatever. Like it's interesting to go through those processes of thought, trying to like figure out, well,
What's
is this
real,
what's the
what's
evidence for
not.
that?
One thing that really kind of stood out for me also was the Nibiru coming around every 3,600 years and causing havoc on the planet. So, I guess the
Well,
last
here's-
time it came around, what havoc was that?
Well,
Where's
that
the
could have
evidence?
caught 36,000 years ago. Could have been. I know they wouldn't be the impetus of the Ice Age, but that lines up with I think some elliptic stuff. Graham Hancock talked about it. But the funny thing about the ninth planet is they didn't think it was real for the longest time, but now scientists are pretty sure that they're not sure it's a planet, but there is definitely something. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I don't know if it was in the Oort cloud or I forgot the name of the other one, but they think based on the movement that they can see of certain asteroids that it feels like there's something causing there's a gravitational disturbance out there. So there's something
Something
big,
out there.
but we can't see it too far away from the sun. Now they think it might be a brown dwarf or it could be a planet.
I've seen one of
And-
those. It was in Austin one time.
A brown dwarf?
Yeah.
I saw one
aggressive.
in
He's a
Rings
small
of
guy.
Power.
You talking about
yeah.
comics?
Yeah.
Well, he's not brown.
Oh, no, he's a white dwarf.
A white dwarf.
I mean,
This is different.
He's kind of tanned a bit.
No, it was Lizzo. Okay, never mind.
Oh.
Chat there.
Hey, she's thinning up, man. She's going to the gym. She's working out.
Hey,
Good. For her.
good for her. Good for
Good for
her.
her.
No,
Anyways, sorry.
so they think there is something out there, and the fact that like it's another case of this is just bullshit, and now
Until it's
there's
not.
something out there.
Yeah.
And did the ancients, Planet X, and did the ancients know about this? It's 36,000 years. That's what they said, but maybe it's mistranslated at 3,600. I don't know. But there's some kind of gravitational anomaly out there, and there are planets that have weird fucking orbits that they're discovering exoplanets. There are ones that have insanely weird orbits that take years and years and years. So we got to think about this, right? Because Göbekli Tepe was such a shocking discovery because we hadn't seen anything like it, although we have. It's called Stonehenge. Like every stone circle structure kind of looks like there's a similarity there, but we didn't see anything like that.
Not this old.
So do you think it affects the perspective of science that these things were discovered, like the ziggurats and the pyramids, so long ago, and they've been known about, that we just kind of like, they've always been there? Imagine if they, discovered Mesopotamia like today. Like, what would the perspective be on it? It wouldn't be, because yes, it's been studied for a long time, but we always have every decade or so, there's fresh eyes when there's new physics, when there's new information, just new information, new translations and everything. But what if we just discover? I think we'd have a different perspective on it, and we'd think it was way more advanced than it was. And it also hasn't had time for academia to, like, in their very enclosed circle, like, talk themselves into like, dudes in loincloths and bare feet could build this shit and design it, although they didn't know math. Like, bullshit. So I think we'd have a different perspective of it. That's why Göbekli Tepe was so fucking shocking, right? When they did find it, and it freaked science out, and they tried every way in hell. They still are, by the way. That's what Jimmy was kind of talking about too. They're trying to say like, no, it wasn't purposely buried now, and we're doing all this revisionist stuff. And in the meantime, there's other sites being found that are older that thank God people like Hugh Newman got to those places early and took a look at it and saw their astrological alignments. And that's the one thing scientists avoided, like the plague, forever. They didn't take it seriously. And it was a lot of amateurs and some bold archaeologists who went out there and started going, they were aligning everything to the stars for a reason. Like, and the ability to do that is not easy.
There's a lot of things implicated in that, like mathematically, geometry, understanding the stars themselves and their positions and where they're gonna be, where they were, and there's a lot implicated there. I like that idea that you brought up of if we found something, even like Göbekli Tepe, that happened in the 90s,
right?
In the 90s, it's like a completely different world we live in now. We have people out there on your phones with the video cameras and recording things, and people that are more into like looking into these things and trying to figure them out. What that would look like if we found a site right now. Would it be overly tried to explain away quickly by like the mass media, and people wouldn't believe that, and they'd go see it for themselves? Like, I would love to find that out. Maybe we'll get that like in South America,
Our
Luke
boy
Cabrons
Luke
is out there fucking going to these temples that have never been filmed and shown on screen. Like, that's a possibility.
Maybe he'll find something big. That would be awesome.
Dude, like a whole complex. He was the last video that he did. He was going through the jungle, and there's
it's doing really well, by the way. And please check out the video. It's very good.
Go check it out.
You there.
No, absolutely. Go check out the video. He just in the beginning, he kind of offhandedly talks about the wells that are built in the middle of the jungle. There's just like periodically these wells, and they're kind of grown over with all the rocks and all the trees kind of grow over it. It's like such a scary idea. You could just be walking in the jungle and just whoop down into a well.
Yep.
But that usually means that there's a complex close. And he went into it and he showed the whole thing. It's great. Go watch the video later. Very good. Very good. But that's an example of somebody that is that twisters, that YouTuber that's out there, go doing it for themselves and finding out the answers themselves and then presenting it to other people. And
he's 25.
So exciting.
Yeah. I forgot
25
what
years old.
I was watching, but they had shown a picture of a pyramid after they had removed all the grass and the plants, because grass is crazy, you know, can grow anywhere. And then it just looks like a regular hill prior to it being removed. So every time I'm going to look at a hill now, I'm like, oh, is there a pyramid there?
Dude, there's some hills in Texas that look like fucking pyramids.
For real,
straight up. Yeah, when you're going on the west part and you're headed towards El Paso. I think that too. I think like if you see a lone like mound, you're like, is that a mound?
I want to go dig it now.
Yeah, like you know, what is that? You're right, and like they're covering them all up in China, but yeah,
sad.
Good. That's a great point to bring up. So, how many places? There's so many. How many countries that we can't explore in because they're too war torn? You know, that have the answers. You know, there's
so many of them. Like
so many.
It's in North Korea.
Maybe there's some crazy shit in North Korea. We'll never fucking know. And it would be preserved because they have no development there. You know, no real development there, or they probably knocked it down. Fucking idiots.
But the cradle of civilization is in one of the most war-torn, dangerous places.
Yes. Well,
on
Iran,
Earth.
We can't go to Iran, and Iran has like tons of shit. Like, that one picture of the giant hand, the stone hand that was in the mountain. That's in Iran.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that from?
Marvelous stuff that's like locked away through danger. But you never know. Maybe
but Turkey,
maybe they'll get all nice eventually.
Like Iraq, not so. I think I don't know how Iraq is doing right now. It's not in the news, so I don't know if it's doing well, if it's doing poorly. No, I just know that ISIS, when they weren't convenient for the machine, just magically disappeared.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it?
Isn't it weird?
Strange how that happens.
Isn't it weird? It's like, hey, we need to stay in this war. We've got this deadly ISIS thing, which they did some fucked up shit. That's a really good funding.
A lot that we trained.
A lot of speed. Like that, really? That, right? Yeah. So ISIS had.
Where are they getting the speed from? They're just making it in the caves?
Meth, right? Yeah, I guess they had this special brand of meth that they were all taking, and that's why they were all a bunch of crazy mofos. Wow. I mean, they were crazy to begin with, but ISIS is ISIS is probably going to try to make a comeback. I wouldn't be surprised, but it still exists in Central Asia. Okay, but who's in Africa right now? I saw that in the chat.
Somebody in Africa?
Somebody's in Africa.
What are you doing there?
What are you doing? Monkey? What's up?
Photos.
Speaking of Africa, we got the final trailer for the final episode of the Grand Tour. Go check that out later on too. It was trending on YouTube. Oh, it's very sad. They're in Zimbabwe. It looks fucking beautiful. Wish I could go there. Looks beautiful. But with the Anunnaki, it's always it's a fucking great story. For one, it just is. It's just
a great science fiction story. Like it's just it's got the perfect kind of that format is just perfect.
But I guess the final question is, what do you two believe right now? I'm going to give you a choice. I'll give you a choice between three. Gods, alien, or a superior form of human that died off.
I think superior.
But they didn't die. I don't think they died. They just were like,
oh, that's a good idea.
Bye. You guys are crazy.
Oh, they left.
Violent.
They're aliens. Aliens could have left, and
superior human.
They could have just left and be on their way back, and we're just here for the wait because time is moving differently for them.
That's true. Maybe they'll come back after they do their round trip, and they'll be like, "Let's see how they're doing now," because they wanted the gold. If that it was real, they got their gold, and they're like, "Okay, don't need to be here anymore.
They hopped on that ship
They'd
and
rather
flew
be at
away.
home with their families.
I think aliens definitely have been here for a long time, like predating humans. I
Maybe
think
we are aliens, bro.
Yeah.
maybe we are refugees from Mars.
Elon's gonna figure that out.
He's about to
And
figure
then
it out.
there's the moon stuff too.
The moon is fucking
Moon
weird.
is so
believing that
weird, dude.
stuff more
It's
and
like
more.
It's like hollow.
Or we're
Listen.
just a giant simulation. I don't know.
Or
I
dude,
think
we need to go into that at some point because I love the
Yes.
simulation
that's
theory.
going to take days
Fascinating
of
me.
research because I want
Adam needs to be here
Oh,
too,
yeah.
though.
Adam's got to be here. It's such a great
I
theory.
used to completely like fuck no, that did no way, and I am so close to like
Quantum entanglement is such an insane thing. The perspective, like
And-
viewing
and
it
not
and not
just for
viewing
Will-
it and changing.
for
It's
Will
like,
Smith's family.
Not to be confused. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
never been same since, man.
I'm glad he made like Bad Boys 4 was a good movie.
I still haven't seen it. I need to watch
It's
that.
great.
It's a
You'll like
legit.
it.
It's a legit.
I like the
good
third
movie.
one as it was.
We had a good time watching it. We were in there, and we were like some of the only white people in there, and well, not X-Ray Girl, and it was tons of fun and laughed my ass off. I thought it was I liked it. So I hope he comes back. They
Yeah.
leaned into the slap joke, which was great,
True.
and then
I
we
like
get
it.
bright. Then we get Bright too.
That's what I
We
heard.
get Bright too.
Wait,
Get-
for real?
no, we were supposed to get
Oh,
it.
you fucking teased
We
me
were,
with that.
we were supposed to get it, and the slap ruined it. But also, Max Landis wrote it, and he got canceled. But now
Yeah.
they're both kind of on redemption arcs now, so I think
Yeah.
we might be able to get it.
That'd be the way.
Do it,
That would be the
do
way.
it.
I think all three of them, right? So Will Smith, Max Landis, and David Ayer, because David Ayer after like Suicide Squad and Bright didn't quite work out as much. Like he needs to come back because David Ayer is a freaking phenomenal
Great
director.
Great
Phenomenal. So I want all of them to come back and like kill it with Bright
Yep.
too. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
They should make an Anunnaki movie.
They should.
They should make an Epic of Gilgamesh movie. I don't know why they haven't done that. Like it's in the public domain. It's got to be, right? It's been enough time.
Have they done a graphic novel? I'm pretty sure they've done.
I
A
think
graphic
so.
Novel.
I
Yeah.
think they have. Yeah.
Yeah, I have it. A friend of mine.
Of course you
gave
do.
it. But they should absolutely make a movie on Atlantis or the Epic of Gilgamesh. I think I heard that God, guy who did ID4, I'm blanking on his name right now, is working on an Atlantis movie. 10,000 BC was kind of adjacently a post-Atlantis movie.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a comedy?
I know Battlefield.
Oh, you're thinking of the Jack Black, Michael Cera
Oh,
movie.
wrong one. Wrong one.
No.
Yeah.
No, not that
No.
movie. Oh,
No.
God, that
Never
was
mind.
a Weird movie. Weird movie. Hey, we have an ad.
Roland
read.
Emmerich, thank you, chat.
We have an ad read, Gary.
I thought we weren't doing one today.
We are. Right?
Oh, during the day, not for forbidden.
Oh,
Fruit.
okay.
Oh,
X-Ray Girl,
yes.
remind me in the first 10 minutes. They have to be in the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
We could do one
I
now
will-
and put it in the first 10 minutes.
Nobody told me
Oh,
there
it's
was,
already
I was-
live. It doesn't
Honestly, I forgot until the half-hour mark.
matter. Well, it's in the description. You can go in the description. It's down there.
Hang on, I gotta go get it. Yeah.
5G. You don't like that
gotta Tell
5G?
me beforehand.
My bad. 5G, guys.
Bro, it's messing with you.
Maybe
That
that's
stuff.
what's happening.
That's what it is. The 5G has gotten to our brains and we've completely forgot that we had an ad read today for Rumble.
It's not even the sickness anymore. I'm not even using that as
Just
an excuse. It's
Can't
my
be
phone.
that. It's 5G. It's
Mhm,
messing with your brain waves.
Yeah, your phones.
The ball sacks. It's messing with all that, and you don't want any of that to be messed
Oh,
with.
definitely
okay?
not the ball sacks.
None of that.
We don't
Is-
want the.
Labor Day, 20% off. Wow, Gary.
Whether it's Labor Day or your wife in Labor Day. Am I right, Adam?
Oh my
That's right.
God.
You want to protect your ball sack. You don't want it irradiated by the 5G. Now, the good thing is 5G mostly doesn't work, so we're cool. But when it does work, so here's the thing. They told you smoking wouldn't kill you, which was paid for.
Hey, you're a real
Why
Texan now.
I am. I said HEB the other day. I
That's
went,
right,
instead of
HEB.
I want HEB. I went to
That's
HEB. Paid for by the Tobacco Corporation,
Oh my God.
who made billions off your deteriorating lungs. Those some bitches. How about they said saturated fats are good for you? So the mutilation. So the multi.
What?
I'm reading I'm reading like a Californian. I'm sorry. So the multinational food conglomerates could print money while America got fat. If you're gonna get fat on something, get fat on Texas barbecue, ladies and gentlemen. Do you remember this one? Vaccines are safe and effective. Well, we all know how big pharma profits off our sickness, making that fentanyl and shit coming across our border at Eagle Pass. Trump 2024. Sorry.
I saw a guy today at the gym. And it said God, guns, and Trump. I was like,
Tell me this. When they tell you 5G radiation from your devices won't hurt you while the electronics and communication companies make trillions, do you believe them some bitches? I don't.
hell no.
Hell no. Ask the bees that the 5G towers are killing. You can't because they're dead. They're killing the bees. Go to 5gfree.com/nerdrotic and use code nerdrotic to save 15% off your order. And check out our EMF badges for the phone that don't for your phone that don't work and you shouldn't buy. So don't buy the other shit. Buy our shit. It's better.
Yeah.
5gfree.com. We have a range of unique products brought to you by Rumble with our lineup of proprietary supplements, device protections, and radiation medical kits, because you don't want your balls radiated. Doesn't feel good. Trust me. 5gfree.com has you covered. Every purchase supports Rumble and the right for free speech. God bless Texas. You know why HEB is the greatest place ever?
Because born and bred in Texas.
Because you can get
That's
pumpkin
fantastic.
bombs.
Look at that.
You get pumpkin bombs. Look at this.
Nice.
That's cute.
I'm gonna hang it from up here.
Like,
I'll get you, Spider-Man. I'm gonna start
That's nice.
throwing it at my dog. No, this thing's awesome. I wish I would have gotten
Remy
two.
will destroy it.
You can't see it, but it flickers and it looks like really good. Not on the camera, but it looks like little flames going up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Halloween season's coming around. Spooky season.
I'm so excited.
It's everywhere now. They got Halloween candy out, and I figured out that it has to be the pre-Halloween candy, so it's the one the parents eat before Halloween.
Oh,
You know,
the primer.
the good
the
stuff.
primer. It's the
Oh yeah.
it's the good shit right now.
Now, is
I'm
it
waiting.
is this the first year that it turned September 1st, and that's when people started talking about Halloween?
No,
it was a little
Halloween.
early.
Halloween
I'm okay with it, but
started for
I
me
think-
earlier.
By the way, I think 5G would appreciate my reading.
That was a
Okay.
beautiful reading. Just the timing, just
Need to be a little earlier.
We'll
Yeah.
get better. We'll get better
it's in the
gotta be on-
description.
as time.
I like
or
this
something.
this royal we. We're gonna get better.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh my
of
god.
course.
Yeah.
Yas, queen.
Yes. Hey, that 5G, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you guys. It's like perfect sponsor for this show. So hail 5G.
Protect the balls.
Protect the balls. I don't
Very
think
important.
I don't think they care very much that I say that, to be honest with you, because those are actually really important things. We want to protect the boobs and protect the balls. Okay.
Yes,
These are important things to humanity.
All the bees.
Breast cancer sucks.
Yes, it
Ball
does.
cancer sucks. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. We like the boobies. Hail testes. You're right. Sorry. Hail testes.
Yep, that's right. Protect the bees between your knees.
Testes and tits.
The bees. Oh, so I hope is everybody having a great Labor Day today?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I went to HEB. It was fucking packed, dude. It was the most crowded I've ever seen it.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
nothing open because it's Texas, like except for HEB
Oh.
and like, fast food restaurants. And it was like party time in there. It was insane.
It's a magical place. It really
It is. I like
just,
it. It's like Buc-ee's. There's like a good energy in there.
I want to go.
Well, I'll take you to HEB.
Yeah.
They're
have
building one
fucking-
next to my house.
They have one. They have fucking everything. They have everything.
Is it more magical than Bucky's though? Like,
but no, Bucky's is like
It's like separate, two
it's
different
like-
types.
yeah, it's
two
it's like
different types of magical. Gotcha.
Bucky's is a magical because like having a big awesome grocery store is one thing, but having a gas station that's, we'll use some Randall terminology here, orders of magnitude better than any gas station ever invented or built ever. It is
Okay.
it is a citadel on a shining hill, on the shining hill of the free market. That's what Bucky's is.
Yes.
And they have good food.
It's a great oasis on the road. Sadly, though, they don't have it everywhere.
No, it's like only on one side of Texas, really.
Yeah.
And then in other states, but there's on the way to El Paso, no Bucky's. They got to fix that. There's none in Bernie or any place like that.
You get that fixed.
Need to fix that. Where are we? Let's get the soups. Hope everybody's having a great Labor Day. Okay. I'm going to continue my X-Files marathon and try to wash the stain of the Rings of Power out of my head until next Thursday. Thank God the season's halfway out.
I know. That's actually, it's so good that it had 3 episodes. Oh,
it was a slog, really. But worth it.
It was a slog. I don't know how our Friday Night Tights got age restricted.
I don't even understand why. Like I was fairly tame. I feel like it was.
Well, I can't talk to my partner manager. I mean, it's too late now, but I can't talk to him until Tuesday. But like, I'm going, dude, find me exactly where we got age restricted, because I suspect it's that the Gallagher looking guy in his underwear flopping around, and the AI picked it up as like naked or something.
Maybe yes.
But like so their supposed human reviewer got back to me in like 30 seconds and said no. So nobody looked at it.
Come on.
So yeah, I'm
like, actually, it's the weekend.
I'm fighting this one.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
It was a good episode. It was fun.
It was fun. Little Platoon's awesome. We got Drinker next week. All right. Let's get to you guys. Hail Rumble. Hail YouTubes. Hope you're doing good. Logan Miller has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships for $25. Thank you. We appreciate it. Diego Salazar for 1,000 Argentinian pesos. Congratulations to Adam and Zorbu on their new son. I hope the birth process wasn't too traumatic, Mr. Crigler.
Cheating on me? Zorbu.
Zorbu's a slut.
Dude, he's everywhere.
Really now, for 20. I think the volcano under Naples that's about to blow up erupted 14,000 years ago, ejecting the Mediterranean over Africa, destroying Atlantis and flooding the known world, hence the flood myths. The same eruption buried Göbekli Tepe. Well, there is talk of there's a massive, like, that's the one thing you think about when you're there, right? Near the Mediterranean. It's like, how fucking volcanic. I was on Sicily, so there's Mount Etna, and it's going all the time. Like, you could see it. Wow. I was there. You could see like just a little bit of smoke coming out of it all the time. I would
be like, let's build a city somewhere else.
Oh no,
you know, not next to that.
They built cities all around it, and not only that, they dug a tunnel through it. So there is the most insanely well-built tunnel system around Sicily that I've ever seen. Like, it's pretty fucking amazing. Like, you go for miles in a tunnel. And it goes all around the island, and it's on the western side mostly. And they drive on the normal side of the road, so it was really easy to drive in Sicily. It was like a piece of cake. But we're going through this tunnel, and we know we hit Etna because we smelling sulfur the whole way. And you're like, this ain't right.
You know what? That's why I do love humanity, because we just do crazy shit. You know, just stuff like, hey, you know, there's a freaking volcano right there. Let's dig a tunnel through it. What about that?
I forgot the names of the city. Started with the C. I forgot the name of the city, but it's right below Etna, and you can see the lava flows. And then there's
crazy.
There's like a mural in the airport of the last major eruption that killed everybody.
So they're like, this is what it will look like when we all die.
I was like, what the fuck? Sicily was awesome though. People were really fucking nice. Food was great. Everything was pretty cheap. Hail Sicily. Cuntville. That's what it was called. You're right. Salty Sandy. My bad. Cuntville. Lots of vills in Sicily. Anthony for 1999. Robert E. Howard, one of the greatest authors of all time, was onto some shit. In a time when the oceans drake Atlantis, I think the world before the flood was very different from what we know. That's what Atlantis was big back then, and that's what he drew from back then was Atlantis. Conan has the sword of Atlantis, the bastard sword is the sword of Atlantis.
What was the other Robert E. Howard? Cull. Also very Atlantic. There's a lot of the myths.
Cull was awesome. Too. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not different.
Josh Kelsey, thank you for the 20. Thank you for the 20. He just drops it and leaves. That's what he does. Thank you, Josh. Average Redhead for $20. If you haven't watched or already covered it, I'd recommend the work of Dr. Stephen Greer with Disclosure Project. I found the most recent movie, The Lost Century and How to Reclaim It, to be extremely interesting. Yeah, his last couple docs are pretty good. He comes from very different. It's not one I totally disagree with, but he's more of, to put it down to brass tacks, he's more of the government is evil than the aliens. And I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I disagree that all aliens are good, though. I think they're ambivalent, which could be, just as bad. But Dr. Stephen Greer has done some very good work in the past. Very, very good work. Andrew Matthews for £2 British. Great work on the video, QBG. Lots of pale Easterlings. Yeah, I called that one too. That's another one I called. Is all the Easterlings will be white.
They did it.
Although that's one of the races that Tolkien was pretty specific about. Wasn't white.
Interesting.
Yeah. Tolkien did account for diversity. It's just not in the ways they liked it. Baby Shelob, dude. Like predicting Baby Shelob.
That was good.
I was fucking joking. I was
can't
joking.
believe that.
Yeah. It's Occam's retard. Like I said,
it really is.
With Hollywood today, when they're adapting stuff, go with Occam's retard, which is the most retarded thing you could possibly think of is the thing they will do. Zorbu on the Streamlabs side for $10. Gary, why the hell does the one you call X-Ray Girl keep calling us Aryans when she sees us? Man, we ain't even German.
I can't tell. My eyes are so small.
Yours aren't small. They're just shut.
Yeah. Just got to open them up.
Shut, small, it's all the same thing.
You know why I really appreciate my crew? You know why I appreciate X-Ray Girl and Quarter Black? Unflappable these people are. You can't offend them, even if you try.
I thought this was
really
for
hard.
DI points, obviously.
Well, obviously, you're just you're diversity hires, but the fact is that you know it, and I joke about it, and you're okay with it.
Yeah,
is completely fine with me. But if you want to know what the secret sauce to content creation is, unflappable. Minorities. Yes. Minorities. Minorities to help you forget your ad reads and not be able to set up. Like, how many minorities does it take to start a stream?
At least
not enough.
4.
I mean, you got 3/4 white. That should help for something.
It's that last quarter that,
yeah,
like, very on top of things.
How many marginalized people?
Not enough.
Not enough. Where was I?
Very offended.
B-Chain 315 for $5. Hail Forbidden Frontier. Glad you're having a show today. I was playing Twilight Imperium. Is that the Twilight video game?
Is there a Twilight video game? Does Shad know about us?
The Twilight Imperium yesterday for 10 hours.
My God, is that an MMO?
Yeah. It's like open world Twilight game.
Just Just macking on some girl in high school when you're like 300 years old.
Yeah, but refusing to fuck her. Yeah, Galactic Politician Simulator. Oh, okay. Oh, that sounds kind of cool. Many friendships were lost. Congrats to Adam. The Rings of Power video was great. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
A board game. It's a board game.
It's a board game. Oh shit. Okay, now I'm interested. Now I'm actually interested. When you guys I'm gonna have you guys down for the holidays probably when we're down here. And we need to play board games and do like not online
I'm
shit.
ready. I'm so ready. I got board games. I'm ready.
Let's fucking go.
Play some zombie side.
I want to
Kill
do
some zombies.
Exploding kittens.
Aside from our Christmas stream,
too.
which has
That too.
become a tradition. Like I kind of want to go offline for a couple 3 days and just play board games.
Can you
Go
guys
to
play
health.
Uno?
Yeah.
You yell at each other, especially when they get the reverse card.
Okay. Yes. You got to play the Uno that ejects the cards at you.
Oh yeah, the
Because it-
shoots. I used to
That
have
shoots
that.
the cards at you.
Yeah.
That's really fun. It's actually fun. Yeah.
What happened,
My kid loved that, man. Here we go. Razor Burn for $2 says Gary had a blast with Chris Gore at Dragon Con. I heard Dragon Con was quite a good time, and I would love to go to Dragon Con, but it's in Atlanta, dude. And it's nothing against like Atlanta in particular, but it's everything against American cities right now, which I'm just fucking done with. Done. I lived in one for 18 years. No thanks. They offer nothing to me. Melissa and I were rattling off like things we don't miss about San Francisco, like parking tickets, having to rush out in our own neighborhood to go find parking because they parking every Tuesday on one side of the street or every Thursday on the other because of street cleaning that never cleaned the street. And we had to like park a mile away from our fucking house because we only had one driveway and one tiny garage that couldn't even fit a big car. Right. So I don't miss that fucking crazy shit. There's so much. I don't miss like we have to go to a restaurant that's 3 miles away, but we have to like get the logistics of the parking and leave like a half an hour early so we can make our reservation or whatever. Like, fuck that. Everything's
Screw
a
that.
pain in the ass. Or you go downtown to Union Square before the times where, I mean, it was where you just had a panhandler come up and almost pee on you. It was kind of harmless compared to
Ew.
getting shot. And then you'd have to go pay fucking $35 to park to go down there. Like, fuck that. And then they were talking, then these motherfuckers were talking about charging people to go into the city like they do in London.
Oh, like a city tax. Ugh.
Yes.
And the last time we were in Atlanta, that traffic. Oh,
It's really bad there.
It was
it
LA.
was
I
so
don't think I've ever
bad.
been.
Yeah. So,
So bad.
Chris really wanted me to go to Dragon Con, and if like Rings of Power, I said no, but in the future, maybe if I fly in and fly out and like leave. But yeah, I mean, I hate going to LA just as much, you know, but at least there's like the little pocket of Pasadena, which is pretty nice to go to.
Pasadena's nice.
I love Pasadena. Toilet Bug for $10. Hey, ladies, thanks for the Sunday, Monday shows. I am cracking a cold one for my 54th trip around the sun. And wanted to say thank you. Hail Vegas, Gary and Garrett. I'm here for the gasoline. Hail Eric K in the chat. Hey, hail Eric K, by the way. Hail Eric K. I watched 54 trip around the sun made me think we watched Deadpool and Wolverine again last night because Melissa hadn't seen it. And I loved it when he said, my 50 or another trip around the moon. She's all around the sun, dipshit. He's all okay, flat earth or okay, round earther. But the best joke was at the end with body positivity time cop says, well, I'm about to show you something huge. And Deadpool goes, that's what Scoutmaster Kevin used to tell us.
That movie I watched it.
That was the best joke in it.
I watched it 3 times. It had way more rewatchability than I thought it did the first time around. I thought it actually worked the second and third time.
It does, but it also exposes like it's nowhere near as good as the first two. Like nowhere near.
I mean,
But,
I think
yeah.
I went in thinking that already, but
Yeah,
for sure.
But no, I liked it. I like the
It's
movie.
a fun time. It's a
It's a fun time. I like the movie. Accident Seller for 50 Norwegian krona. X-Files Fight the Future and the opening scene with the kid and the black goo is so memorable. Yeah, the movie's good, dude. Then it just keeps going. Felt like a hardcore version of Spielberg. Yes. I mean, it's just a fucking like just an episode with a better budget, but like it really hit the ground running and it goes into the mythos. It's important to the show. It's a pivotal moment in the X-Files. It's a huge pivotal moment. So it's not just a one-off movie. It had repercussions throughout the series after that. I fucking loved it. Switzerland play IT for $1. QBG stop hating Rumble. The Epic of Gilgamesh is about 2000 BCE, 3000 years before the Atraxes. Irudu, the first city, and assume that we got the word from Irda. German and English is Earth. Okay. Bigfoot for $10. Uh-oh. Researchers stopped looking for me because they say I'm too mysterious. Or did they? Well, maybe they found you. Maybe they were like, oh, you're not that interesting. We're going to stop looking now. Channel Surf. Just finished rewatch X-Files last night. Oh, that's awesome. Hail Channel Surf, by the way.
Now I got to do it. And his
now
mustache.
Now you got to do it. Thoughts on Billy Carson? We talked to him. Dick Dickerson for $1.99. I'd talk to him in a second. I think it's more mundane, Gary, that systems want to shut it down because of job security. Academia has been coasting on credibility. Elijah Snow for $4.99. Unfortunately, Elijah, I think you are 100% right on that one. I'd like to think it's something more nefarious because that would make it make sense. But the most sad answer is probably the truth in this one. And I think it's job security, and they have been coasting. Like, how many don't even fucking leave their schools, right? And it's a cushy job, guys. And cushy jobs tend to breed cushy men, cushy, pudgy, cushy in the brain men who could be like all the book smart you want, but not really that wise. Not really that wise. So I think that's probably the answer. And how fucking pathetic is that? But you know what? Good. Be lazy. Go ahead and coast. You only get to do that for so long until the curious conquer you. And that's what's happening right now. Loch Ness Monster for $10. Fact. The asteroid, is it supposed to be fact or fact?
I don't know. I can't read the Loch Ness Monster.
We got Nessie too. So
cool. We got Nessie, Bigfoot watching. Everybody's watching. The ghost of John F. Kennedy. Like, lots of cool stuff. The asteroid event that ended the dinosaurs was technically the highest ratio of killing birds to one stone. Oh!
Don't remind me of this.
Really appreciate that one. I do. I don't know why. I just do. Tricky. Tricky.
It's tricky.
Fucking Rum DMC was awesome, man. Loved Rum DMC. Gary, how could you miss that name? Darth Vulva. I did miss it. Darth Vulva. That's good. I see so many good names now, and I miss them. Holy Ozone for $10. I know more about the Sumerians than I do about Texas gas stations. LOL. That's probably good. That's probably good.
But have you been to a Texas gas station?
Yep.
That's called Buc-ee's.
It's called Buc-ee's.
They could change your tune.
It would. That's one thing the Sumerians didn't discover and built was a Buc-ee's. Proof that
America
we are
did it better.
the peak of civilization. Dude, right. Like I heard fucking heavenly music the first time I went to a Buc-ee's. Oh, I'm like,
they play it as you're walking.
It was like love at first sight. It was. And we didn't leave. I didn't leave for like a half an hour. I'm like,
that's how they get you, man. You're in there, you're looking at the knickknacks. You're like, I could buy a pillow.
Yeah. I need this pillow. I
need a wooden bench.
That with a Buc-ee with a big beaver on it.
Yeah. You know, the only thing that could maybe make it better is samples of candy.
Oh, they have like a lady that has a tray.
Just like,
she's like, would
you want to try one of these?
They do
and then you'd buy a bag.
I don't know if they do it with the candy, but they do it with the food. They definitely give you samples of the food, which is good, which is very, very good, by the way. the beef brisket sandwich there.
Oh, so good.
Mm. And they have
There
the
you
little
Here.
they have the breakfast chicken fajita tacos. Fucking excellent. I walked up the ziggurat at Ur. Is it Ur or Ur? When I was deployed in Iraq in 08. Thank you for your service, by the way. An amazing experience. You could do a whole episode on it. Some think it is a Stargate. It looks sci-fi. Like when you see modern, they use that shape, and it's because it looks futuristic. Philip Connell, by the way, glad you made it back.
Was this you, right?
Really,
here? Okay.
truly glad you made it back. Yeah.
That's cool. Never seen that
amazing.
before.
Well, it's rebuilt, but that's what they looked like.
Yeah, I think this is like all the side of it. So.
Well, Jimmy did Jimmy from Bright Insight, Jimmy Corsetti, friend of the show, good guy. He's got all of his video from when he was deployed on his channel, so you can go watch that, and it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing, and that's what got him thinking. Like his big wake up, and he talked about it on his video, was being part of the system, wanting to go fight Iraq, wanted to go get the bad guys, and then he realized that it was just a machine. He was just part of a machine and got disillusioned. And who wouldn't? So that has to be with the, like, you want to support people who want to protect this country and do the right thing, and I always will. And that's what makes it more nefarious than when you use people like that, just basically to keep the machine of industry going. And let's not forget all the other people that are being killed, and all of our people who are being killed. Doesn't mean there's not bad guys out there that have to be taken care of. Absolutely. But we don't worry about all the bad guys coming here. So I understand Jimmy's and many others' disillusionment of being completely fucking screwed by our government. My big wake up was being a ward of the state. You know, when I was a ward of the state, I saw the underbelly of the state and how things worked, and I'm like, oh, this really isn't fair. My wake up call was not as bad as Jimmy's. I was working in the procurement department, so I was typing up drug orders for inmates, which was an insane amount of drug orders, like insane amount of insane drugs. But there was a reporter at Folsom who was going to investigate the new warden because they believed that they were basically misappropriating taxpayer funds and putting it in their own pocket, which they were absolutely doing. So the warden lived on site in Folsom, and the warden gets a fund to, like, when the new warden comes in, they get some money to renovate the house. Now, why? I don't know, but it's $30,000, and this is a 1992 money.
What?
This is a 1992 money. They were given by the state $30,000 to renovate a free house that they get to live in while they're warden, to get it to their standards or whatever. This warden used $100,000 of taxpayer money, misappropriated it, embezzled it. And our department handled all the money and records. So we as inmates are not allowed to talk to anybody. It is absolutely
because they've seen Shawshank. Like,
yeah,
not gonna happen again.
You're not allowed to talk to reporters
time.
unless it's like official and it's approved through the prison. Then you can give interviews and stuff. But like, because we were minimum security at the time and we were walking outside, we were not to talk to any of the free people. That was the rules. And you're not to talk to any reporter who walks up to you or anything. And if you do, your ass is back behind the wall, like instantly. So like, we weren't going to say, plus we aren't going to fucking snitch. There's a no snitch thing. So this reporter comes to interview and requests the records, which they have to give them. I watched the head of our department switch the records. I watched them take the fake records out and the real records, put them in a fucking safe in her office. And I watched him pull it out and go to the reporter with these fake fucking records. And I'm sitting there going, I'm not saying I don't belong in here, but they do too. Fuck this. And that was my wake up call. That was my wake up call. of like, fuck the state. Sorry. Didn't mean to go on down that road,
dude.
but that was my wake up call. Zorbu for $10. Not saying quarter earthling is slow, but we told him probing is to prevent COVID. Now he's begging us for booster probes.
I don't want COVID. What's wrong with you, Zorbu? You're talking nonsense, Zorbu. I need you to stop.
How 80s of you, Garrett.
Very 80s. It's a different kind of game.
I don't know if there's an archive, by the way. I don't know if there's an archive of that report, but they did talk about it on the news around 1992 in Sacramento, because Folsom's near Sacramento, California, if you want to hunt it down to verify what I'm saying. But absolutely happened. Absolutely happened right in front of my face. And they didn't give a fuck because they knew we couldn't say anything. And I'm like, wow, okay.
I feel like anything that's government funded should be transparent on where they spend their money.
Yes. Oh, it's supposed to be that way in this country. It's just not. Accident seller for 20 Norwegian krona. Homo erectus died off. Story of my life. Hashtag no homo.
Or was it finished off and to rise again?
Oh, that's an inspirational story.
Taking a nap.
Just taking a little nap. You got to rest once in a while.
Recharge.
The comeback is greater than the setback.
Good one. Yeah. Oh, she's come a long way, folks. I'm so fucking proud of her. Oh my God. Try the Nebraska Sandhills. Says Happy Plague Doctor for $5. What's that? What's this Nebraska Sandhill? Yeah. Zorbu for $10. We just got a text question from Earth Father Crigler. Let's see here. Dear Zorbu, how do stars die? Well, Adam, that is simple. Stars usually die of an overdose. Next question, please.
R.I.P. Matthew.
Dude, the Matthew Perry thing is fucked up because he was killed. Like
straight up, dude. You see the text?
But
the messages between the doctors.
Yeah. He was murdered. He was murdered. I mean, they took advantage.
Heartbreaking.
There's a lot of doctors out there, and I forgot who said it on Twitter. Oh, it was Bill Maher of all people. Once in a while, he's all like, lawyers get a lot of shit, but doctors don't. And I could not agree more.
Yep.
A lot of crooked piece of shit doctors out there, and I'm glad they're starting to put them away. Yes. Some are being put away to the tune, and it's in federal prison. So you're doing all your fucking time to the tune of 20, 22 years. It's greedy fucks. And they make enough money anyway. They're doctors.
That'll pound me in the ass prison.
Good.
Here's Nebraska Sandhills.
Ooh.
What does that look like?
Is that
that looks like ripples.
Yeah.
That's like current ripples to me.
Wow.
This is a satellite photo. You see these little lines? Those are roads. Little teeny tiny lines up here in the top right corner.
There's one at the bottom, little
little bottom left corner. Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah. Tricky for $5. Look at the height of the sand between the Giza and pyramids. Oh, yeah, that's nuts. And the pyramids were partially buried for a long time. In the last Grand Tour episode, they showed a town in Mauritania it's in the process of being covered by the desert. It's weird. There's a way to stop it though. There's a way to stop it. You it's like a current ripple, but you build a hill and you build some plants on it and it slows the sand of the desert. Cauldron Walrus for $4.99. What are your thoughts on Mu Lemuria? Lots of woo, but Pacific myths do speak of a lost civilization. Builders of the Eastern Island, Nan Madal, Gungung Padung, Gunung Padung. Sorry, gun guns. The gun guns. I think there were a couple of ancient civilizations. I think Atlantis, and we'll just put that in air quotes. That's not what it was probably called, but existed. One in the Atlantic and one in Pacific when the oceans were lower. And there is some evidence of that with Easter Island specifically. But yeah, again, our investigation of the East was very much done with Western eyes, and it's still relatively new. I'm talking last couple here, couple 300 years, but relatively new. And we're still finding out. And quite frankly, Graham Hancock brought a lot of that to the world. Graham Hancock. Other people investigated, but he put them in his books. Those books were bestsellers, and he put a lot of eyes on some weird shit. So I think Lemuria could have been a place. Yes. As big as it was, and like the legend, not really sure about that, but what was the Sunderland. So it's in South Eastern Asia. It's all the islands, it was all pretty much one big landmass. So that maybe that was it. PFJ Dawn for 5 British pounds. You lot are going to be so pissed when we move the sands and find out that space witches use the Force to make the first human. Fuck.
Oh, no.
Fuck, you're right. Well, that would explain the human race, my friend.
Honestly, yeah.
Andrew Matthews for 5 British pounds. I cannot wait till they study the shipwrecks at the bottom of the Black Sea, as 90% of the deeper Black Sea volume is anoxic water. Ooh, interesting. Another place that hasn't been explored that much, right?
What's anoxic water?
Anoxic water. I think it's good. It's probably more preserved, right?
I think it has less oxygen, I believe.
Condition in
water
which the
that
aquatic-
has no dissolved oxygen.
Yeah.
Condition can occur in fresh water, groundwater, and seawater,
There you go. And
which will preserve.
it's cool.
The truck is that truck is real. There's a storm chaser with one. I'm sure it is, and I'm sure it can handle like maybe F1s and stuff. But
they were doing like F5s in the movie.
dude, yeah,
There's
yeah.
no way. That shit is, you're getting pulled out of the ground. The ground's coming with you, probably.
I thought the only thing that was cringe about the movie was when they were live, when they were like. I would say it was more believable that they survived tornadoes, especially one that hits an oil refinery and the oil refinery just starts blowing up, than some of the YouTube stuff and the crew that they had.
Yeah.
It's like it was really kind of cringe.
No way.
But I kind of like the movie. It had.
I think that Twisters was like a little bit a rom-com and a little bit slasher. And instead of a monster or a scary person with a knife, it was a tornado. So they were like,
tornado, yeah.
we're at a rodeo. Oh my God, a tornado. Literally seconds. It's very funny. It'll like come around the corner almost.
Well, dude, like, sorry, spoilers. Her crew dies in like the first 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. They're
right.
Like,
It's kind of brutal. Like, it's like,
wow.
They dead.
Yeah. I think it's sucked away.
Yep.
Not off, chat. Not off.
That's what they heard.
They were thinking.
They the
it.
chat.
They already. I could hear the fingers typing it.
Kind of like Mahler on a keyboard.
Thanks.
Tricky for $2. So thank you, Tricky. I watch a lot of those storm chasers. I don't watch the one with that truck like that, but Ryan Hall, y'all. Ryan Hall, y'all. He's a weather guy, right? But he does some storm chasing, and he connects with other storm chasers and does a live stream. Dude, he gets like thousands of people watching. 10 like huge numbers. Like I think last one was 40,000 I saw watching it live. But Ryan Hall, y'all, he's good. He's good. He's entertaining. Japanese demon lord Abir Lucifer for $5. The #1 dinosaur expert in the world is Jack Horner. He has 0 degrees and is 100% self-taught. Hopefully archaeology can take the page from that. Hail. I love that, by the way.
That's threatening to them, though, because they went through so much work to get this piece of paper that gives them bragging rights.
When in life, it's like they should be going, that's fucking awesome that we have a guy who's so talented and so natural at this that he comes in, he changes it. Who gives a fuck if he had a degree or not? Let's work together. Let's find the answers. But no, it's fucking ego. It's ego.
One of our major faults as a human race.
Vanity. My favorite sin. Devil's Advocate, by the way. Great movie. Toxic Man Flu for $2. Remember, orcs are people too. Orcs' lives matter. Accident Seller for 5 Norwegian krona. What if we dig too greedily and too deep and suddenly wake up about, shadow ship from Babylon 5. Fooled you. Didn't expect that, did you? When I finally watched Babylon 5 was one of those ones I missed because I was a straight up Star Trek snob. So I'm like, fucking rip off a DS9. This is me back then. Okay?
Puppets.
Younger, dumber, which is saying something. Gary, who didn't know the whole story at the time, but I'm just like, DS9 rip off, blah, blah, looks stupid. What the fuck? So I watched it much later and I'm like, oh, God damn, that was great. And then I realized how much our boy George R. Martin, who is a fan of the show, by the way, and he's not afraid to say where he got inspirations from, used inspiration for that show for A Song of Ice and Fire. Like for sure. With the shadows. There's a whole song. The shadows dance. There's a lot of inspiration from that. Among other things, including Lord of the Rings and of other stuff. But Snake Oil Sean for $2. Best ad read ever. Thank you. They should cut that as a commercial. I give them permission. Fuck you ho for $4.99. And
it's PH.
PH, okay? So it's okay. Yes, precious aliens. Treasures are guarded. Yes, their testes and tits protected, hidden from nasty thieves. Oh, yes. Yes. King Trigger Tank for $1. I went to Buc-ee's for the first time yesterday after going to Six Flags, and it was a spiritual event. I love it. Yes.
Yep.
Six Flags in San Antonio.
Could be up here.
Could be up there. There's a Six Flags up north too.
There as well.
Yeah. When Bruce turns into Hulk, does he does his motherfucking deek motherfucking deek get bigger too, bro? What about his ball sack? What if he's a woman? What happens to her? Yes, the questions we're having about Tolkien or like about the orcs, I talked about it on my Rebel stream this morning, are ones that if Tolkien wanted to answer, he would have. It's best to keep some stuff a mystery. We don't have a definitive origin for the orcs. We don't have any confirmation whatsoever there were families, even despite all the bullshit you're seeing on Twitter. They definitely fucked. But we don't, there's no orc suburbs in Mordor, okay?
Yeah, a little black picket fence.
Now get the fuck out of here with that shit. That modernistic intersectional shit. Tolkien would have to go to war. Fuck off.
You're beings of war. That's what you do.
You're there to get slaughtered by Aragorn and many others. Okay, that's what you're there to do.
You're bad guys. And with a woman, if the Hulk is with a woman, they did answer that in one of the, I think, Incredible Hulk. They talked about it. That's why he can't. He's like abstinent because if he does, his heart rate gets too high, and then
Glurtz isn't going to come home to little Glurtz Jr. And he just became president of the local Mordor Kiwanis Club. It's terrible.
They have little bowling league hats.
Little orc bowling leagues.
Their heads, they're rolling heads.
Softball tournaments that they play with heads.
The Boy Scouts, orc Boy Scouts.
Yes.
Boy Scouts of Mordor.
The Boy Scouts of Mordor. Oh my God, it's so fucking retarded. Jose Taco, what's up, brother? For $3. The Book of Enoch, angels come down. Each had certain jobs. One angel was to teach mankind technology after the flood and the pyramid structures around the world. Is mankind trying to bring back angels to mate and bring back the Nephilim? Anunnaki might be the angels. Yes. But I
like that explanation.
There's also Prometheus, and that there's a lot. Okay, for one, correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a minute since my Sunday school. Okay, but angels were of God, of heaven, but they weren't always the greatest guys. Okay,
well, a third of them left.
Yes, yeah. They weren't always There's a reason they were where they were. And yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Comics Division's ball sack for $5. The reason I am sentient is Comics Division was abducted and probed by Balchinians. Those damn Balchinians.
Really interested in ball
Anthony for
sacks.
$1.99. Try Warhammer 40K. I've already had one addiction and beat it. I can't do that again. I'm sorry. Well, I didn't beat it. It's at bay. But yeah. Jason M for $5. I mean, look at my room. What do you think would happen to me if I got into Warhammer 40K?
Oh man,
More figures.
you'd have to clear out a whole corner just for painting. That's what I have over there.
Yeah.
I never happened again. It's bad enough that I bought like my first 1/6 scale in forever.
Dude.
And I don't know where the fuck to put it.
I have that same problem. I have 1/6 scales in the closet because I don't know where to put them. And then the Deadpool Wolverine, they just announced that, and I'm like, it looks so good. I don't know where to put them.
I know. You know what I got? Michael Gambon Dumbledore.
Where'd you get that?
Well, they used to be available. They used to be like around, and then they're gone. And then they did a Goblet of Fire one. It comes with a little podium he walks up to. And I bought it by accident.
I remember that. Yes.
I bought it by accident. So I bought it from China and I didn't know it. I saw it. I'm like, oh, I see one. And I just hit buy now. And then I saw the tracking. I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, well, there goes, I'll have to fight it and get my money back or whatever. Fucking, I got it.
My son just finished the 7th book. Physically reading it, not listening, physically reading it.
And now he can listen. He can listen.
That's what I specifically was like, okay, you can't listen to the 7th book. I let him listen to the other ones, kind of build up to it. But I was like, 7th book, you got to read it. And he read it, and he was like hooked. He was so excited when he finished it.
Hell yeah. Good boy.
Book.
Howdy, y'all. Have you guys heard of the Moon-Eyed People native legend of short, pale, bearded people in the Appalachian Mountains? I don't know if they're called Moon-Eyed, but I've heard that before, Jason M. I don't remember Moon-Eyed, though. But there are legends, South American legends and Native American legends of seeing white people with beards. And they really hate it when you talk about that. And that's where they latch the white supremacy bullshit onto Graham. And he's like, I'm just repeating what I fucking heard. And that's the disingenuous arguments of people with weak arguments that are losing power. Hickory Chip rant for $2. Thanks for being my entertainment while I get in shape. 20 pounds down. Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Far,
That's awesome.
I got someone at the gym to sub to you all. Keep up the great work. Oh, cheers, brother. Well done.
What's up, Jim bro?
Love to hear it.
Zorbu for $10. Technically, the term is terrestrials. Why was I going to say testicles? I don't know. It just means more human.
You might need to go to the back doctor for that.
I might. Extra testicles to testicles.
You got a hernia. I'm telling you.
I think I was
All's on the
expecting
mind.
him to say something funny, and he just says extraterrestrial. Just means more humans. Think it through, then I'm wrong. I'm not going to think it through. Zorbu, thank you. You've been through us enough. All right. Tricky for $5. The Storm Tracer was from the 2000 show on Discovery Travel Channel, if memory serves. The version of the truck could withstand an F3, maybe F4. That's fucking awesome. Everybody should be doing that then. Andrew Matthews for £2 British pounds. What happened to him? Oh, he died in a tornado. That's what I'm going to hear. Look, Synop D for the shipwreck that they found. Look up Synop D. King Tigger Tank for $1. Six Flags in Dallas. Hail, brother. Hope you had a good time in Dallas. B-Chain 315 for $2. I want parody show of the suburban drama of orcs. Teenage girl is crying on her bed because Clugnog broke up with her in high school dance.
Oh my god.
She's like, oh.
Clugnog will never talk to me again.
Can we call it the Desperate Orc Wives?
I was imagining it all in like the 1950s, like good times. Like,
Oh.
Housewives of Mordor.
Oh, Jesus.
Glurg Slurps is such a bitch. You should have John Delarose on FNT. He's great. I know John Delarose. He writes.
Oh.
He writes. Met him at Comic-Con. Nice guy. Accident seller. Nice guy. Okay. We're gonna wrap it up a little shorter tonight because it's fucking Labor Day. And I got to start an X-Files marathon. Okay.
That's right. That's
continue
imperative.
That's imperative.
That's research.
Streaming in Canada. I'm so excited.
I could be in Canada if I use a VPN. So
That's true. And you won't get charged.
What's
like
in
Brazil.
Canada? What's in Canada?
Oh, X-Files is streaming on Paramount Plus. So
and in Canada. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
There you
so
go.
I can get a head
Clever
start.
girl.
But I still want a physical copy.
You got to have physical copies. It's one of the greatest television shows ever made, not just genre. It's greatest television shows ever made. And Vince Gilligan came from that, who did a little show called Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Just a
Oh, I
little
love
show.
Better Call Saul.
Just a small show.
Yeah.
There's an image from that ship.
Let's take a look real quick. Chris Carter's the man too. I mean, he has a
Shipwreck.
it was Shagsworth who brought it up on Twitter, but like Millennium is fucking a like short-lived great show with Lance Hendrickson. Holy shit, what's that?
That's the what was the name of it?
Synopty.
Synopty.
Well preserved ancient
what is it?
shipwreck.
Like how ancient?
Oh. It's 325 meters off of Sinop, Turkey. Can't try to see the age of it. There's a lot of writing. It's so small.
So no oxygen down there, right? So like what kind of life is down there?
No idea.
No idea how old
Maybe
it is.
they use that.
How old is
you
it, chat? Do you know? 500 AD, they're saying.
Oh, dang.
500
Andrew Matthews
AD.
says 500 AD. That's fucking insane that there's anything
That
left.
looks great, too. Like, you could,
Get the-
Oh, you look good for your age.
yeah.
What are you doing? What's your secret?
What creams do
The
you
bottom of
use?
the water, you know. Hanging
Just
out
don't
down there.
breathe. It's fine.
325 meters, you know.
Yeah.
Anunnaki as a myth in the Zachariah Sitchin sense that I saw you mention in the chat, it has been largely debunked. Yes.
Yeah.
But he was on to something. I don't think his conclusions are correct. I definitely read the book and was entertaining as hell and wanted to believe it, but found it too far-fetched. And the thing I had a problem with is this thing everybody does, rockets. Why would interstellar species need rockets? So that was it. Baalbek was not a platform for a ship. Baalbek was an ancient foundation created by the mother civilization, or at least the old one that predates us, that greatly predates our civilization that we come from. That's what I fully believe. And the Romans repurposed it, and so did everybody else afterwards, which will be the Christians for a little while, Islam for a little while, long while, forever now. And we're lucky it's in one piece.
Still.
And apparently they're fighting like hell over there again. So, all right. What do you got coming up, Garrett?
Normal world, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
100,000 subs.
We just passed 100K. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You get
And,
Jay.
after you go subscribe to that channel, you can come subscribe to my new channel, Nega Garrett. Over there, I'm dropping IRL videos.
What'd you say?
I said Nega Garrett. That's right.
Damn.
Nega Garrett over on YouTube. Go check that out. Thank you. Did a video. You can go watch it right now.
Go watch it.
And then go watch our video
Yeah.
over on Nerdrotic.
Lots of stuff we gave you to watch today. X-Ray Girl, what do you got coming up?
I'm going to be playing more games on my channel. What game? I don't know. Was Woke Ray Girl just a sick part of my last week? I don't
Was it
know.
a flash in the pan?
No idea.
You
I
know,
hope-
disturbingly enough, there was a great response to Woke Ray Girl. Like a little too.
Which one?
which one? Both, but the blue, the pink hair one and the blue hair one. There was a lot of Twitter simping going on. That I thought.
I mean, I feel like I look more like
particularly
an
by your
character.
husband, by the way.
Well, I mean, Mark,
He eggs it on.
yeah, he likes that. I'm sure. He's got yellow fever. It's fine. But I might play Dustborn again. I don't know. But yeah, follow me everywhere. Extra Girl, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, all them things. There are 2 super chats. Do you want me to read them?
Go ahead.
You got it? Okay. Comics Division's ball sack for $5 says extra testicle. There ain't enough room in here for a menage a testy.
That's what I was waiting for.
Accident seller for 20 Norwegian krona says Millennium 1989 W. Chris Christopherson, also good. I think that's a movie.
Chris Christopherson, yeah.
Chris Christopherson, good actor. He's a singer.
Okay, cool.
Was in a version of The Star Is Born with Barbara Streisand.
Really?
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yeah. It's also part of The Highwaymen with Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings. I was a highwayman. Willie Nelson. Good shit. All right, we're gonna leave.
Gary, where can we find you?
I know. I was slowly getting there. Very slowly getting there. I was like, was it Waylon Jennings in The Highwaymen?
You're like looking it up.
No, I'm thinking.
What?
I'm not sure if it was Waylon Jennings.
Pin yet.
But I know it was Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson. I think it was Waylon Jennings. It's a good song. Yeah, I'm a boomer. What? Well, I mean, I'm a Gen X. Fuck boomers, but all right. What do I have coming up? I just worked out nothing. Me sitting on the couch and watching X-Files.
Watch out for his Twitter. He likes to tweet while watching movies sometimes.
I do. I take pictures of my screen and go, look at that neat thing. It was Waylon Jennings. Thank you. The Highwayman's fucking awesome, by the way.
Highwayman.
The Highwayman. Yeah.
Convoy. I'm just reminding myself
Oh.
of Chris Christopherson stuff.
Yeah, Chris Christopherson.
Keep an eye out on the community section because the Wednesday nooner might not be at 11 a.m.
It might not be at 11 a.m.
Central.
because I might be appearing on something British.
Not as.
No, I'll be with him tomorrow. So we'll be on time for the real BBC tomorrow.
I'll be with him.
And Mahler. It'll be
wow.
Some menage a trois.
Yeah.
Mage a nerd.
Yeah.
Nerd mage a trois.
Some of
Nerd
that
mage a
BBC
trois.
going.
Nerdage a trois. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, we better get out of here. This is going downhill fast.
Juan Castle for 199 fellas. Is Luis Elizondo to be trusted? Your take? Or Lou Elizondo?
I'm not sure.
It's difficult. He's a
Previous
difficult
government
one,
worker.
'cause-
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
I really want him to be. That would be. I definitely it's definitely somebody who worked for intelligence who broke away is something we need, and that is possible. That's happened before, but the trust is earned, and that's entirely up to you. And nothing against the man personally. It's just based completely on he was a misinformation agent. So you can't ask me as a UFO enthusiast for decades to just accept that. I can't.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. It's a difficult one.
Oh,
We're monitoring the situation.
There will be a watch party for Rings of Power episode 4. Yes, absolutely. Jose Taco for the members on Nerdrotic. So yes, Tom Bombadil episode.
Oh.
All right,
Oh.
let's get the hell out of here.
Bye.
See you guys later. Bye bye.
Take care.
Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.